If you're young, ambitious, and maybe most importantly, just sick and tired of all the noise and the lies about money, then this is for you. We're going to cut through all the so-called experts and the get-rich-quick schemes. Instead, we're going to focus on a clear, 5-level roadmap to building real, lasting wealth.
Let's just kick things off with a pretty harsh truth, okay? The system is designed to want one thing from you: to be average, to be happy with a decent salary, maybe a nice vacation once a year. And if you dare to want more than that, you get slapped with the label greedy. But according to the framework we're exploring today, the real greed isn't your ambition for freedom. It's the system that profits from keeping you stuck right where you are.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll expose the trap that keeps most people poor. Then, we'll talk about developing a wealth obsession to break free. After that, we'll lay out the map to guide your journey. We'll define true freedom by looking at the difference between being rich and being wealthy. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the 5 levels.
All right, let's dive into the first section, the trap. Now, this isn't just a metaphor. It's the default setting society puts us in. It's a massive and often invisible force that's specifically designed to stop you from ever building any real, sustainable wealth. This stage is defined by one word: drifting. See, this state comes from a single fear: the fear of making the wrong decision. And that fear is so paralyzing that it tricks you into making no decision at all. And when you let life decide for you, the system is more than happy to decide that you're going to stay poor.
So, how do you know if you're in the drifting stage? Well, see if any of this sounds familiar. Do you feel totally overwhelmed by all the options, drop shipping, crypto, whatever? Are you bouncing from job to job, just kind of hoping something sticks? Maybe you even catch yourself saying things like, "Money can't buy happiness." According to our source, that is one of the most effective lies the rich tell the poor to keep them from even trying. If you're waiting for an opportunity instead of creating one, you're drifting. This quote just perfectly captures the result of drifting. Let this really sink in for a second. Nobody else is going to wake up tomorrow morning with the goal of making you rich. The only person who will ever put your financial success first is you.
So, how do you break free? Well, that leads us to stage 2, the decision. This isn't just another step. This is the turning point. It's the conscious choice to stop drifting and, for the first time, take complete control of your financial destiny.
This level is called obsession. And I know that word sounds pretty intense, but it's not a negative thing here. It means making a conscious, laser-focused decision to go after one single goal: building wealth, and ruthlessly ignoring every other distraction.
This slide shows the difference perfectly. On one side, you have the arrogant person. They want to get rich and learn a new language and run a marathon, all at the same time. On the other side, you have the obsessed person. This person understands that getting rich is a professional-level goal, just like becoming a pro athlete. It requires a singular, all-consuming focus.
Okay, so you've made the decision to focus. But focus on what exactly? This leads us into section 3, the map. This is the practical, boots-on-the-ground plan, and it covers the next 2 levels: discovery and acceleration. It's about finding your path and then hitting the gas hard.
The plan here is deceptively simple. Level 3 is discovery. And the key here is you don't need to be an innovator. Your job is to find a path that's already proven to work. Then comes level 4, acceleration. This is where you execute relentlessly. And crucially, you actively seek out criticism to close the skill gap between who you are and who you need to be.
So where do you find this map? By totally immersing yourself. Get a job in the industry you want to dominate. Find successful people to learn from. And they don't have to be celebrities. In fact, it's often better if they're just a few steps ahead of you. Join their Discord communities or wherever they hang out. Your goal is to find their blueprint so you can copy their successes and, more importantly, avoid their mistakes.
But here comes a critical warning. This period of intense focus, it is incredibly lonely. You'll feel disconnected from your old friends who don't get your ambition, but you're not yet successful enough to connect with your new role models. This feeling of isolation right here is the #1 reason most people give up and just go back to their old, comfortable lives. But for those who push past that lonely stretch, they finally reach the ultimate goal: freedom. Getting here, though, puts you at a critical fork in the road, a choice that determines whether you'll just be temporarily rich or if you'll become truly wealthy.
This final level, freedom, is the moment it all pays off. You've mastered a high-income skill. You're making serious money. You can finally buy what you want and live completely on your own terms. No boss, answering to no one. It's the feeling you've been fighting for.
Both are making a lot of money, but the difference is fundamental. The rich person spends money to impress people today. The wealthy person invests that money to be free tomorrow. It is the single most crucial mindset shift in this entire process.
All right, let's tie all these threads together. From the trap of drifting to the choice of freedom, we've just walked through the entire 5-level framework. Here's one final look at the journey.
It's a clear progression. You start at level 1, drifting without a purpose. You break free with level 2, obsession, the decision to focus. You find your path in level 3, discovery, and you sprint down it in level 4, acceleration. It all leads to level 5, freedom, where the only way to stay is to reinvest smartly and build a future you actually own.
And that leads us to one last powerful idea to leave you with. Every dollar you spend on meaningless stuff today is a dollar you are choosing not to give your future self. It's a direct trade-off. So the question is simple. What will you choose to invest in tomorrow?